and welcome to day cinco. It's 5 in Spanish. Oh my God, the chocolate's actually there. It's disgusting. It's deadlift day, and we are gonna start off this video with a cool deadlift montage. Instead of calling this MAXXMAS, I should have called it 25 days of sick angles, dude. And 25 days of flex. You wanna see some sick angles? We only get to deadlift like once a week, so we can only do so much cool things so often. Okay, let's begin. So today I just worked up to 500 pounds for some doubles. I technically did a single of 545, but I didn't want to push it too much because my hand is still healing. We'll get back into super heavy deads soon. I might be doing some heavy deadlifts next weekend. I definitely probably will be doing some heavy bench press next weekend, heavy for me at least, because of where I'm going. Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? I leave on Thursday and I get back Sunday. Okay, the next few minutes of the video are probably gonna bore some of you, but a lot of you have been asking about this. I'm gonna do a comprehensive, somewhat detailed explanation of of all of the camera gear that I use, why I use it, why I've upgraded, what I like, what I don't like. This is not gonna be the end of the video, but if you don't care about camera gear at all, I'll put a timestamp that you can just click. I'll put it right here, and you can just skip to that portion of the video. They'll continue on with this vlog, but for the next couple minutes, we're gonna talk about the camera gear. Woo! So we're gonna switch to Peter's camera, which I'm probably not gonna do any color correction on it because it can't be in a picture profile. But yeah, here we go. All right, we're gonna start with cameras, and we're gonna move to lenses and tripods and everything. First up is the camera that I have used for many, many years, and I probably will end up selling this since I upgraded. This is the Canon 70D. A lot of people use this. It's a great camera. It's somewhat affordable. It's only about $900, and you know, it's in comparison to how much cameras can be. What's great about this is that it has a flip out screen. The main lens that I used for this was a 10-22. Wide angle lens, which is great, but honestly it's not very good in low light. Downside of this camera is that it can only shoot up to 60 frames per second in 720p. It can't even shoot 60 frames in 1080. The other lens that I had for this is the Sigma art lens. This is the 18-35 1.8. I have no downsides to this. I think a wide angle lens and a lens like this where you can have some zoom, you can have a 1.8 f-stop, is the best bang for your buck. The next camera that I use is a Sony RX100 Mark V. This is the brand new one. I had the Mark III, I upgraded to this one. Love this thing. I think this is probably the hands down best small compact camera you can have. I would choose a DSLR over this camera if I could only have one, but if you have extra cash, I would really recommend you have this as a secondary camera. This thing can shoot in 4K. This thing has picture profiles. This can shoot 120 frames. It's an amazing camera. It has a flip up screen like this, so I can see myself. Really, there's not much downside to this little camera besides the fact that you can't interchange the lens, but you want something compact, so then if you go somewhere, you can just throw this in your pocket, you can kind of sneak it in. It's not as, you know, out in your face. People aren't going to notice it as much. Next is the brand new camera that I just upgraded to. This is the Sony a7S II. And what I love about this is the fact that it can shoot in 4K. It can shoot 120 frames per second in 1080p, which is great slow motion. It has fantastic low light, probably the best low light on the market. The reason I upgraded to this is because, you know, if you see every single person having like the same quality videos and a couple of people step up their quality, you kind of like, yours isn't going to look as good. So I wanted to, you know, keep up with the quality. I always love improving. I had this camera for many, many years. It was time to make an upgrade. So the downside to this camera, there's a few downsides. One, it's very, very expensive. This camera's about $3,000. The batteries are tiny, right? They come with two, but the batteries are tiny. And it does not have a flip out screen. It has an articulating screen, and I guarantee in the next one they'll probably have a flip out screen. So you can't see yourself when you film, but I love this thing. Absolutely love it. Next, we're gonna move on to the lenses that I use for the Sony. The lens that I use the most is probably this 16 to 35 Sony Zeiss f4. It's a wide angle zoom lens. Now keep in mind, this is a full frame camera, so you're not gonna have that crop factor. So 16 millimeters is the same as a 10 millimeter pretty much on a crop DSLR. This is a great lens. This is like my main lens that I use when I'm just filming outside, or I just wanna run and gun, make sure I can get everything in the picture. It has some zoom, it's great. The downside to this is the fact that it's a constant f4. It's good that it's a constant so the aperture doesn't change, but it's bad that it's an f4. I wish it was a little bit of a lower f-stop, but I'd highly recommend this lens as your main lens for the A7S Mark or A7S II. The next lens that I bought, which I don't really know why I bought this. This is the Sony Zeiss f1.8 55 millimeter lens. I've only used this when I did the 4K video at night. I probably will sell this. I don't know why I bought this, but this is the new bad boy that I have. This is my baby. I love this thing. This is the Sony G Master 24-70 f2.8. Amazing, amazing, amazing lens. Constant f2.8 aperture, which is great. The only downside is it's very expensive. It's like $2,300, and I really wish it had a lower f-stop, but I don't think any 24-70s have a lower f-stop than this, but absolutely love this lens. Next, we're gonna move on to lens accessories. These are ND filters, which are neutral density filters. I have one for the wide angle lens and I have one for the G Master. And what this basically does is, if you notice, see how it's kind of like light? Watch this. See how it darkened like that? So if you want to have that 2.8, the blurred out background with this big lens, if you film outside, you won't be able to do it. It's gonna be overexposed. So you can keep it at like a 2.8, but this will not let as much light in, and then you can have that blurred out background in the middle of the day. The last video I did with Flex Edit, I used this thing so I could have blurred out background, and it was bright as hell. Next up is the microphone that I use. This is the Rode VideoMic Go. It's only about $80. The pro is that it's very cheap. If I break it or something, it's not a huge deal. It works significantly better than the onboard camera. The downside is that it's not as good as the VideoMic Pro. And the reason I don't use the VideoMic Pro is because that one uses a battery. It's a lot better of a microphone, but I don't want to remember a battery in case it dies, and also you have to physically turn it on. And I'm a potato, and sometimes I just want to be able to run and gun and grab it and not have to think about it one extra step. So I sacrifice a little bit of sound quality to be able to just plug and play and not have to worry about a battery or anything. And this kind of suspension system allows for me to kind of, it can be like hit on stuff and it won't break as much. Next, I want to show you the memory card that I use. I use 128 gig SanDisk Extreme Pro. I would highly recommend 128 gigs so you don't run out of space, especially if you shoot in 4K. You want a class 10, and you also want it to have a little 3 on there. This has 95 megabytes per second writing speed. You need a card that can keep up with the camera. Next, we'll move on to the tripods that I use. They both have little Gorilla Pods. And the great thing about these is that you can adjust these any way. You could wrap it around stuff, but also a great benefit is that when I put it on the camera, it acts as a little selfie stick. So instead of me holding the camera and you kind of seeing my arm in the shot, I can put it on this, and then it's kind of above me. It has like my arms lower, so you don't necessarily see my arm. It kind of allows me to put it out a little further, and it just gives you a little more stability to hold the camera. I have one for this little camera as well, just in case I want to hold it up or I want to mount it or put it as a tripod or something. The other tripod that I use is a Manfrotto. I used cheap tripods for the longest time, and then I got this bad boy, which is about 80 bucks, I think. I got it at Best Buy, and love this. The fact that you can like move this head like this is amazing. You don't have to twist the little adjusting thing. Highly recommend getting a good tripod. It is something that you'll be glad you purchased. The last thing is my camera bag, which is just an Amazon Basics camera bag. It's great for when I travel. I can put all my gear in here. It has a laptop sleeve on the back. But that is basically all my camera gear. Now, this is not purchased all at the same time. This camera gear was purchased over time. Don't think you need to have the top tier equipment, but if you really wanted to perfect your craft, you're not gonna be perfect, but if you want to invest in yourself. I think upping the quality of your videos is something that is beneficial. So that is all my camera gear. It'll be listed, just click, it'll be the first link in the description. I'll just put camera equipment, everything on Amazon, and you can check it out. If you have any questions, leave in the comments down below. Enjoy the rest of the video. Quick thing, and let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video on my editing. I film in a flat profile. So what you're seeing right now is how my videos look when I shoot them. So I shoot in picture profile 8. I'll go into all that stuff. But I do this so when I do my color correction, I have a little bit more freedom and I add my LUTs and whatnot. So here's what it looks like when I shoot, and here is what it looks like with color correction. You can see the difference. On, off, on, off. I'm still getting better at color correction. I'm not perfect, but I've kind of found the camera setting that I like. It's very windy, I'm sorry. Okay, let me know in the comments down below if you want me to do more editing stuff, how I edit. Let's play a game. It's called How Slow Can We Go on I-95? 6. Can we go any slower? Oh, 5. Yes. Headed to get some sushi with everyone, but not sushi that's right around the street from us. We're going to sushi that's almost an hour away. But why would you do that, Max? Because it's all you can eat, and apparently it's the best. It's called Sushi King. It's in Fredericksburg. Check out the sick traffic, though. Show them the sick traffic. Look at that sick traffic, guys. So sick. Or put the camera back on me. Put the camera back. But it's just great. We're bonding. Everyone's having a good time. Listening to some... We're there! Sushi King! 30 rolls minimum. Shout out Chris Jones. You might be seeing Chris Jones and myself soon. Just saying. Finally eating. Spicy crunchy tuna, my fave. This is a volcano, oh my god, volcano roll, which is like fried. This is not what I meant to order, this is fried sashimi. Oh man. Hibachi. All you can eat for $19. Show the table, man.
So good. I had a chorizo hash.
And graphic crazy.
Hey, let me show you guys.
What are we doing?
What'd you get, man?
I already ate most of it.
Oh. One more spicy tuna and a dynamite roll. Oh, that's so yummy. Yum yum yum. Yum yum.
It's with
Yum yum yum. Yum 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 yum. So you guys are sometimes requesting like more Christmassy stuff. So I think in a future video I might do something like this. What do you think? What is this? Oh, it's my ball. What if I deadlifted in this?
You should.
I think I look, dude.
You look good, dude. Christmas AF.
Ho ho ho. You know, let's just end this vlogmas right here. Ooh. Hold on, we haven't done a secret word today, have we?
But for 24, wait, 24 and
Poltergeist.
20%?
But you don't even know how to spell that one. See you tomorrow.